you are already working on or have implemented a solution that addresses a barrier with M-Pesa Pal, but I'm kind of curious to hear a little bit more kind of how you think about barriers more broadly and how technology can help address those.
So when we started, there was no way by which a business could, small to medium-sized business could accept payments online. So when you're looking at payments online, there's obviously in Kenya, there's M-Pesa, there's Airtel Money, there's Visa, MasterCard, and all the other things. And then when you look at our economy, for a long time, we used to say our economy is driven by tourism. And a lot of the players in the tourism industry were depending on an agent in London. That's why we have resident and non-resident rates. Why? Because anytime a Kenyan booked locally direct with a hotel, they got a price that is in essence, 30% cheaper than what you pay. Okay? So we built a platform, and the idea at that time was build a platform so that anyone can come in, integrate, a college kid can come, integrate, and then make it work. Fast forward to now, we have a growing business. We're in around 7 countries. And where we are, to me, it's a point of frustration. I do not believe that Pesapal is an outlier, or I don't believe that my colleagues are outliers, because when you hire, when you don't have money, you hire the guy you'll convince to work with you. But what we've learned is with this team, the people we got, they're able to do the work. So we build everything in Nairobi. For those of you who know Nairobi, we always say Pesapal is made in Kawangware. Okay? So all the tech talent is Kenyan. And obviously I have some colleagues in Uganda and Tanzania. All the guys who are building, all the guys who are thinking through this, integrating into M-Pesa, Visa, MasterCard, American Express are Kenyan. And that's where my frustration starts. I think the biggest barrier that we face in our market is there's that kid who got to university or who got to a mid-level college. What can we do to make them a little bit more market ready? Okay? Before we started the business, I worked in North Carolina, right, for a group of banks. When we interviewed an entry-level person, they had the same level of ability as a Kenyan grad, but they just had a little bit more exposure. So when we're looking at what we're doing, we're asking ourselves, how do we make it easier for that guy who is in college not to spend time betting, but to spend time learning how to be a project manager, how to be a coder, how to be a search engine optimization expert. Now, before we started the Pesapal business, we were into outsourcing. And our thinking was you'll get work from companies abroad, you'll do it, and you'll charge $30 an hour and all that stuff. Right now, there's so much demand for software locally that cannot be met. So we're interested in participating in any initiatives that will make it easier for that guy who is in college to learn more and jump into the workplace.
And why do you think that's currently not happening, or what's needed to really make that happen? Because it seems like common sense.
Because the hype is with the coding schools. Okay, so there's there's Andela, there's Moringa School, there's many of them right now popping up. And everyone is being told, okay, fine, if you want coders, talk to this coding school. What I know about computer science was you had to take some time to understand the theory. So that's what you do in university or you do in a mid-level college, a community college in the US. Now, the gap that is there is, yes, our syllabus or whatever learning material might be old, but there's a big opportunity. Instead of putting $20 million in a code school, maybe we find a way to bring a few more good professors from more successful universities and let them spend time with our young people. I'm not concerned about the market's ability to absorb talent. Because every time we help a hotel get online payments, the next question is, how do I advertise on Facebook? How do I advertise on Google? And we cannot keep thinking that, you'll tell a hotel in Kenya to look for a Google ads expert in India. When it's something that you can go to class, you can learn and you can do. So when I look at the whole narrative, I've been through 3 hype cycles. The first one was the BPO hype cycle. Everyone was told Kenya is going to become call center heaven. The second one was impact. Everything was impact, 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 impact. No, Liko, don't worry about the business model. We're just helping the people. And then right now we're in a fintech hype cycle, where if I went to the Pesapal website and I added the word fintech on every page, 10 investors would call me. But we've been doing fintech since 2009. Yes. So when you look at those hype cycles, not everyone, I'm not attacking you, not everyone will be a coder. I was an average coder, but I'm a good salesman. And I was a good project manager. And that's what, when we go to talk to colleges, because we were broke, we could not compete with the big companies in hiring talent. We had to go for second year hackathons and then, set up competitions and then hire them at second year, bring them in as interns, and then continue working with them. But when we're going forward, there's software development, there's quality assurance, there's project management, there's technical writing. There's a lot of things that have to be done. And if you don't do those things, the moment your IT person is hit by a bus, you're in shit.